Guys, welcome to A Resellers Life. This is part of my mentorship series with Sarah Stiles. Sarah, before we get started, I want you to let people know where you are and let people know where they can find you on social media.
I am a reseller in the suburbs of Denver, Colorado. I am Sarah Stiles LLC on all social media and reselling platforms.
Awesome. So guys, we're working on helping Sarah build a $1,000 a week net profit business. This week's topic is going to be about hiring pickers. This is a very popular topic. How can you hire people to help source for you? And how can you make it worth it for both the person that's shopping for you and also yourself? Because you have to do all the work still after they bring it to you. So Sarah, you mentioned you wanted to sell sort of like mid to high tier luxury stuff. Have you thought about how you would get some of that inventory to come to you? Have you thought about hiring someone to go look for stuff?
Yeah, so we've talked a little bit in the past, and you mentioned it last week. So I have reached out to, we have a lot of resellers here in Colorado. We have really good thrift stores. So I have reached out to at least one person who said that she would be willing to, because she likes the shopping. So she would do the shopping and bring it to me. We haven't talked about the type of inventory. She knows the kind of inventory that I like, and she wasn't necessarily into only sourcing for me, but she was into, I will find all the things and you can go through my stuff and see what you like. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I have like 500 items right now, so I'm kind of nervous to get any more inventory at this time. So I'm kind of thinking ahead, but I haven't jumped into that bandwagon yet, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
It does make sense. So, for me, the way I'm setting up my store is people can sort of get an idea of what they're going to get from my item. It's around 20% of what it's going to sell for on eBay. So this is great for someone who's shopping for, let's say, at the Goodwill outlet, where items, if it's a pay by the pound type thrift store, then let's say it costs $1 for an item, maybe $2 for an item, maybe $5 for a pair of shoes, depending on whatever store that you're getting liquidation from. um, they can look on eBay and see what it's going to sell for, and they can cash out instantly with me. So the best scenario is actually somebody local, because there are people who pick for a living and don't do any reselling. I have met more than 10 people in my life that only flip from flea market to thrift store, from thrift store to flea market, or they have a local store. They don't do any online, because when you don't sell online, you can have like a $8 less ASP or average sale price because you don't have to pay for shipping. So if you have a store or a booth, you can just bring people in, especially if you have a flea market booth that's been there for a while, then people know to come to your store to get certain stuff. So for me, people are looking at, this is sort of the complicated part. What should you pay the person? For me, if I'm paying cash up front for a cheaper item, I want to pay 20% of what it sells for. And I consider cheaper like under $60.
50, yeah, okay.
But here's the thing. If somebody has a $200 item, they're not going to sell it to you for 40 bucks, because even if they don't know what they're doing, they can still get more than 40 bucks selling it themselves, right? So for that type of consignment or purchasing, sometimes I pay up to half. So I have paid people who buy something at Goodwill outlet for $1. They've sold it to me for 200 before, and I've sold it for 400. That's perfectly fine for me,
Yeah, you still
because
made $200.
but some people are afraid to spend money
I don't.
because they're worried about that scenario. And I think that this is another huge key. You have to overpay. If you are worried about $1 or $2 or $5, no one's going to want to work with you for a long term. You have to let them win sometimes,
Yes. And make
especially
it
if it
worth
is
their
slow.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if they're having a slow week. You don't want them to get discouraged, and it doesn't hurt you. So for example, if you find a Patagonia Better sweater, it's like the easiest item to sell, right? It may not be a huge home run, but it's going to sell right away because it's really popular, right? If you have that kind of item, it's okay to pay your picker extra money to keep them motivated to bring you stuff, because what's going to make both of you money is making sure they're out there hunting for as
Right.
long as possible, so they're not panicking. So, but go ahead.
So I do have a question, because I have started to think about this and talk to local people and thinking about the logistics of it. And how do you, so like you said, they look up the comps, and then they tell you the comps and then you just do 20%, or you also do your research on it? Because then you're talking time that you're spending researching every item that they're showing you. Like, how does that logistics work?
So it's kind of rough. So for example, they make the list. So I'm reviewing a list of the inventory that they're bringing. So they have 20 items. So today I picked up some 20 items on a list, and just one spreadsheet for me to look through. And the spreadsheet says what they think it's going to sell for, and then the second column is 20% of that. And we just do a rough estimate. They get paid in one transaction. That also makes it easier for taxes because you need to keep track of your receipts. One payment outward to get the inventory in, and you're golden. So for me, the way that I look at that is they need to provide the spreadsheet, and it's just a commercial. It's basically a manifest. They provide the manifest for their items. Thank you, John, for the super chat. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's definitely about bulk
So they're
buying.
doing that.
They're
And so
doing that.
then, yeah. So at first, I mean, I'm imagining at first I would probably be like, I mean, there's some things that I like a Patagonia, I'd be like, okay, I know like what you're telling me that is going to be, but some other things I would maybe double check and make sure that the comps are there, what they're telling me. But then after you build a relationship and you work with someone, you're pretty familiar that they know what they're doing and they know how to look that stuff up and they're not trying to like tell you the one high item that sold when everything else was selling for $50 less or whatever.
So I've actually, this is a gentleman came to me who spent 12 hours straight at the bins, came with 80 pairs of shoes, okay, which is amazing in my opinion. 80
Yeah.
pairs of shoes for one day of sourcing. Drove it to me, and I paid $1,000 cash. Okay, it literally blew my mind because I'm like, I'm pretty sure you paid under $200 for this for sure,
Yeah.
and you just made $800 profit. Okay, so the way that we did it was it averaged to about $12 a pair. There was some ridiculous finds in there. There's probably 3 or 4 pairs that were over 200 in that lot of 80. And I would say of the 80, I would break even after selling about 15 of them, right? But we just worked it out so it was $12 flat basically for every
So
single
you don't have
piece
to go
after
through all of them.
looking through them. But so it depends on the quality. For me, I know, like for example, like Steve Madden loafers aren't great, okay, but I want them to make some money. I'm not going to lose money on like a like new Steve Madden pair, even though these are $40 to $50 new. You can sell it for $20 shipped and break even and be okay. Especially women's shoes are light,
Yeah.
and just keep your lister motivated. And I think people are like, okay, what you could do is that person brings you 80 pairs of shoes and you're like, oh, I only want the top 20. Then they're not making enough money to do it for you again.
Yeah. Then
You
they just
have to
spend
do
eight
it.
hours and now what are they going to do? Especially if
Right.
they're only a picker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just trying to think. I mean, we were just chatting in my life before this
Mm-hmm.
about for finding a VA, very clear instructions. And I've never done something like this. And I don't know many people that I'm going to be contacting. So I want to have clear expectations of what I'm expecting and what they're getting so that it is worth it for both of us. And not, I'll tell you what you get when you come, like kind of give them clear expectations so that it is worth their while. But then also, I'm not just going through, 100 pounds of junk.
So I'm gonna give you another thought for VA because I have two VAs that only work online for purchasing. So what they're looking for is they're comparing eBay to Amazon. So what's the item selling for on Amazon? What's it selling for on eBay? It's only brand new to make it easier because brand new items are easy to list. You just type in the UPC and most of the item specifics pop up. A pre-owned item takes a lot more care and love to actually get sold. But new, when you're setting the expectations and you're writing the instructions, it's like, okay, first off, we want stuff that has to fit in a flat rate mailer. Okay, so no lawnmowers. Got to get some small stuff that's easy to ship. So then they can start to research, look at weight, look at dimensions. Okay, start to narrow it down. Okay, let's start with tools. Go through tools and look. For that kind of stuff, I don't care what it is because I don't need to touch it, right? If I'm going to
Yeah.
send it in Amazon. But if it's something that I want to sell, like I'm into shoes, I could sell shoes the rest of my life. It's not going to have a recession like clothing because people still need shoes in like that's something that they physically use. So that being said, you
Although
can have people hunt.
I haven't been selling a lot of because I also really love shoes. I haven't been selling a lot of my shoes, but I sell women's shoes, and they're probably not necessarily shoes that you need, right? Like you don't need 10 pairs of $100 boots.
No, but it's also important to recognize that Usually scaling your business, this is going to be sad for most people, but requires selling stuff that's under $30 if you're looking for cash flow. So there's two different kinds of models that I want to present to everyone in the group because I do both. One is fast-paced sales that are relatively low ASP because more people can afford that, especially now that the economy is kind of screwed up and people are broke. Cheaper stuff will keep your pay for your employees, pay for your staff. Right now, you might be feeling a little bit of a pinch if you are selling more expensive items
Yeah.
because people aren't really spending $100 for a pair of boots. They might spend 30 for Morona this month, and then next month they'll upgrade the Hunter again. Right?
Right.
Depends on what they're using it for. But I get it. But again, the low ASP creates cash flow, and then
Well,
then you
and
won't
so
be as
I
worried.
Yeah, and I've started, I mean, to your point, I was a higher ASP and selling less items, but more money. And with everything that's happened, I have switched to bringing in inventory that is a lower average sale price because that is what is selling now and to give me the cash flow to keep things going, which like kills me because I hate shipping things out that I make like $10 on, but it's better than zero. So,
Um, let's talk about organizing your thoughts again. So last week we had talked about starting to get notes together for Upwork. Is that where you're going to go for your VA? Or let's back up for a second. Your VA right now that's listing.
mhm,
Um, how's the relationship with her? Do you
that's
think
good.
she's maxed out? What is the process with her?
No, I mean, she just thanked me she hates sourcing. She loves listing. And a lot of people were getting, she's been doing it for like 12 years and she wasn't getting as much business as she used to because there's like other platforms that can do it and stuff automated. And so she actually thanked me today for asking her to do it and upping how much she does because she really enjoys it and she would be willing to do more. So the relationship is there is good. We're trying to figure out how the photos work. She doesn't like Dropbox because she's had issues with it. So we tried Dropbox for Google, I think. And we were having issues there. And then we emailed things. We're getting that figured out, the photos things, what works best for us. But yeah, I mean, I'm good there. I don't have any complaints with that. I'm a little nervous. I mentioned to you about spending a lot more money on her when my sales are half of what they normally are.
What does she cost? If you don't mind me asking.
Um, yeah, so she's doing $2 an item to do eBay, Poshmark, and then update my spreadsheet with all like my
Hmm.
inventory spreadsheet.
So $2 for the and then that's with a listing that already has the photos in it.
No, that's doing it all.
So how does she get the photos?
So I've been emailing them to her, or we tried doing like the Google Dropbox thing.
Okay. So that's all the way through $2.
Yeah,
That's very reasonable,
mhm.
I think.
I know, but it's still, I mean, if I'm getting to the point where I'm doing 100 a week, that's $200. And my sales right now are like I'm not seeing, and I mean, I'm having faith in you. We'll do it for a month and kind of, it's going to take a lag for things to catch up. And normal times I would definitely be all on board. I'm just a little nervous with what's happening right now with the economy. And if it's going to,
So 100 listings with your profit margin. Like what's a average profit margin for one of your items? $15?
no, my average sale price,
No,
a
I
couple
mean
months,
profit.
oh, profit, like $30.
So then you only need to sell seven
I know
like
I did all the math and I convinced myself it
so
was fine, but
but how is it let me walk me through the hesitation because it it seems like a no-brainer. I mean, how many are you doing by yourself?
none.
So how is
Listings?
that? Yeah.
Yeah. So my hesitation is, and if my husband's watching this chat, he will agree, I hate spending money. Any kind of money that I spend like cringes me up and
Hmm.
makes me very nervous. So that's probably what it is. But spending money and then not like I will do my budget for the month. I've been keeping track of April and I am actually negative net because I bought a huge lot of inventory and then now I'm paying the VA more. So like I made no money in April. Sales were down and I bought a huge lot because that's what I had to do because I couldn't get, and then now I'm paying the VA more. Um, I think
Hmm.
in the long run, I did the math, and if I can list 100 items in my sell-through rate, and I should be making more. But
But
that's where I'm at mentally. I'm a little nervous to be spending more money.
if you're, and I just, if you, I think if you were to write down that you only need to sell 7 out of the 100 to break even, then you should sell 7 in the first week. Even on a slow week of sales, you should break even on a $200 cost. To give you maybe some faith, I spent $3,800 this week on
I know.
somebody else doing stuff for me, and it wasn't. I think I was less scared than your $200. So I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I want to understand your fear because I'm
Yes.
sure other people in the chat right now are worried too about
It,
expense.
so in normal times, I would 100% be with you. My sell-through rate has been cut in half. So I'm selling, I was around 20% on a reasonable month sell-through rate, and now I'm down to 10%.
Mhm.
And I'm being asked to spend more money. So like it just
I got
makes
you.
me
Okay.
nervous. If it was 2 months ago, I'd be like, yeah, cool. Like 20% of more inventory is like awesome, but like where we're at with the economy, and who knows what's going to happen. Like they're talking about another stimulus, and maybe
D
it comes
does
back again in the fall. Like that's all what's making me nervous.
so does it so let's say, does it make you feel like you wanna move slower, or what is the natural reaction when to do it yourself maybe? What's the, alternative?
Yeah, I think probably slower. And so like you had talked about doing 100 listings a
Mhm.
week. And I'm at 7 listings a day with her, so that's 49. So I'm right around 50 listings. And I feel like doing that and maybe even like a week or two until I see the uptick roll through from it. But looking
Where were you at before we met and before the whatever is going on right now?
with how many I was listing, what my
How many you were listing, what kind of sales you were at? Let's say like January.
yeah, so January, I mean, I could probably pull up my dashboard and show you, but January, I sold probably like 100 items.
Okay.
Um, and I had probably around 500 items in my inventory.
Okay.
Average sale price was like $40.
Okay, so now I know why. Now I know where the fear comes from. I'm basically 5x to whatever you were doing before. So of course, because if, for example, that's only about 30 listings a week. Okay. So if I had asked you to just replace that with somebody else, you would have only spent $60. I think you would have been less fearful
Oh,
with
yes, right.
that bill, right?
Yeah.
So it just depends on if I were to 5x my bill, then it would be 20 grand this week I spent, and I would be scared. I'd be like, wow, that's a lot of money, right? Because that's like it's a
Yeah,
totally different than what I was doing.
but even then I would have been okay if if I was still doing, like if my sell-through rate was still like 20% this month, I'd be like, cool, like I'm gonna up it and think, but like I'm continuing to see a downward trend in sales, and then you're asking me to spend more money.
Yeah, I got you.
So like I mean, that doesn't, if I spend more money and I make less money, like that doesn't add up.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know what to say on that because it's just like to me, when I think of more, there's more fuel in the store, right? So I've seen ups and downs, but usually overall, sales will trend up. So I should take a look at your store later, and hopefully I can give some insight into why that's happening. Because if, the total number of items in your store has gone up, also, I don't think really you can't make any decisions or reactions in only a week.
Yes, right. And that's where
Yeah.
like, and I was telling my husband this, I will give this a month. And then especially on eBay, like, or any kind of selling, like things that I'm listing, I'm not going to sell 100 of the items that I listed this week, right? Like they're going to take time. And so I would check back in a month and see if sales are trending up or if sales are continuing to trend down. It's
Eh,
things that are outside of my control, like the economy, that I need to figure out, right?
what is the how is the lot that you purchased? How's that going?
It's good. I'm getting through it. It's new with tags, which is good, but it was a boutique from my cousin, so it's not all like name brand type of thing. So I don't know how they're selling. But part of the reason that I purchased it is about half of it is lower average sale price than I would normally sell. Kind of like that $20 or $30. But that's my average sale price has been going down. People are buying more lower price things. And a lot of it was like like I've been selling a lot of jeans, which I don't usually do jeans. But with everything that's going on right now and they can't be out shopping, I'm selling the jeans. So it's not the typical things that I would sell, but I feel okay with it. I've been listing it for a week or two and I've sold, I feel like a reasonable amount of it for only being listed for a week or two.
So I have a question too. When you
Yeah.
had this person helping you, no, before this, did you list yourself on Poshmark?
Yes.
Okay. So have you looked at the quality of the listings? Does this lady do them as good as you do?
Yeah. Cause I've told her, well, no, on
Because
Poshmark. Yeah. But my Poshmark sales are lower, but we moved and I have kids at home now. And Poshmark, you have to be on there doing, not just listing, like you have to, right? Be like social. And I haven't been as social on there as usual. So I feel like Poshmark will probably come back a little bit. I cannot for the life of me get eBay to be consistent and make what it makes on Poshmark. I've been doing it for 6 months. I list every day. That's, I think, part of what, I don't know what is happening there.
I'm just trying to think here of a comfortable way to grow this for you that's not like scary because of course there's going to be ups and downs, but also um, because this is what happened when I hired Cellhound. Every single time I hire a VA, the sales conversion does go down slightly. And that's because I'm a better lister than they are.
Yeah.
I fill out more item specifics. I know more keywords. I've been doing it longer, right? And there's no third party touching it. It's literally from my brain into the website, right? When you have somebody else do it, the quality is going to drop a little bit. So that's something that people in the chat are talking a lot about, Cellhound. And that's something that um, I wonder because Cellhound listings saves me a lot of time, but their listings are not as good. So
Well,
actually,
so
go ahead.
her listings on eBay are by far better than mine. But to your point, Poshmark, probably not. I know the Poshmark algorithm probably a little bit better than she does in the SEOs. So that can
So
be something I can talk with her.
Sarah, do you have like 10 more minutes?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm gonna share my screen if you don't mind.
Mhm.
Okay, so everyone in the chat, smash the like button. I'm gonna share some of the strategies I use in my store, and hopefully this is useful for you guys. Okay, so this is the public store that I use. It's called Daily Refinement, right? So right now, sales are okay. I should hit 30,000 in the last 30 days for this eBay store. But my store has shrunk this month because sales are up a little bit. And also I haven't, my listing has been down because sourcing has not been as good for me this month. But that being said, sales will be good next month, I'm sure, because sourcing will get better. But let me show you a couple of things I am doing. So I am doing 1% promoted listings. So promoted listings is not a massive amount of sales for me. It was only 6,000 this month, but I only paid $91. So it's not a huge ad fee for this. So I would recommend testing promoted listings. But here is
I
the
promote all
go-
my listings. I promote all my listings at
okay.
trending because like 85 of my sales come from promoted listings.
Okay. So I would look here to get an idea. Mine's not quite that high. So I would say my promoted listings is like a quarter of my sales, right? Oh, actually, I'm sorry, 30%. So let's see, 30%. Yeah, 30% seems about right. So I'm about 30% of my sales are promoted. But what I like to do is when you are testing something new, look at the conversion. And one of the things you can do is when you scroll down to the bottom of this screen, this is the performance tab for you guys that are listening.
Mhm.
Go to the performance tab, look at your traffic. You can test right here. Is a couple of adjustments I made to my store. So I was at about 20 a day. And then after adjusting, I'm at about 40 a day. So I got double as much traffic by making a few adjustments in the store. And I know what happened. So I was only using Cellhound and the listings are not as good. So I'll be straight up with everybody. You guys know I try to be as transparent as I can without giving away everything in my store. But if you look at, you can tell which listings Cellhound does and which listings that are direct by the quality of the listing. So we just got our photo process pretty decent. So if you look through my store, it looks like the same person is taking the photos, but it's not true. Like multiple people are taking photos, but the process is getting cleaner, so things are looking better. But when let me look at this example. This one was listed directly. Um, I don't know if the brand is actually like that, but there's more item specifics filled out. And this person listing for me listed direct, so there's no sell hound button. But you can tell if you
Mhm.
look at Sellhound, it'll say listed by Sellhound. I also tried this promotion, which is an extra 10% off 2 or more items. This has been converting pretty well for me. So the promotions that I have are the fake sale. So 21% off is not actually, I just marked it up before I marked it down. So fake sale plus more than one item plus 1% promoted. And then I literally list almost the same amount of items every single day. It's almost identical. So for me, it's almost like I want to look at your store and see why it hasn't, why
Well,
sales are going down.
yeah. So, I mean, some of it is time because for Poshmark, I mean, Poshmark was my big bulk of everything, and I'm not spending as much time on that. As far as eBay goes, she lists on eBay for me all the time. Like that hasn't changed. It just, I don't list I've been heard from quite a few people, like you need to list the same amount of items every single day. And so that's the one thing that I've changed. But it's probably less in a week than it used to be because I can't commit to 10. I could only commit to 5 while we were moving. But I do promoted listings. I do a fake sale. I do, if you buy more than one item, you can get the whatever it is, the bundle type
Right.
thing.
You have to share your store with me so I can take a look because I'm
I mean, do you
hoping,
want me to pull it up now and you
yeah,
can look at things?
let's do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to pull it up and see what it looks like.
Yeah. I'm pulling it up now. Let me see how I don't think
Or
I
I
just
can,
share my,
yeah,
well, but then I can show you like my
yeah, you
stats
can,
and stuff.
sounds good.
Um, oh, there it is. So
All
can you
right.
see it?
Yep.
Okay. So what do you want to see?
So let's click on overview first. Let me look at this. Okay. Now let's look at active. So scroll down
Okay.
and
I'm
then
still learning eBay as part of it
no
too.
worries. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Click on the active listings and let's look at this dollar amount. Okay, great. So we're looking at this number, which is 26,500 right now.
Yeah.
This is the amount that you have listed. Usually netting $1,000 a week, that number needs to be about 50,000. So we kind of have a goal here. You have a great ASP. So we need to get, once you're at like 50K, if you're selling through 30% of your inventory per month, which is impossible on just eBay with a high ASP, you'd have to be on multiple platforms to sell that many, like 30%.
Yeah. So in my heyday, I was at like a 20% ASP, and I can show you those stats too if you
Sell
want to
through,
see
right?
that.
No,
Yeah,
I
sell
believe you.
through.
So I believe you.
Um,
So
but now
what
I'm at like 10% in the
do
past
you,
March and April.
so you meaning around 2,600 in sales, is that right? Roughly, is that
Yes. Yeah.
okay? So that's a let's see. Do you know how much you would have to gross to net 4,300? That's a tough
Okay. So
question.
yeah, no, well, say it again. I wasn't
So
gross.
we want to net 4,300 a month, which is 1,000 a week, right? So how much in sales do you need to do to get that amount?
Yeah. So to net that, I think it was like around 1,600. I mean, just roughly around 1,600 a week, because if I'm doing
Okay.
$100, if I do 100 listings, my COG is roughly around $5, and then paying her $2 a listing, it's roughly $600 as an expense,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So let me think here. So we are at 10% in sales. So we need to increase your sell through rate. So let's click.
Yes.
Will you click on your performance tab?
Mhm.
Let's take a look at this. Okay. Now let's look at traffic on the left.
Okay.
Okay, great. So this is showing this is showing why your sales have gone down. Well, at least from my first impression, your conversion rate is too low for one. It's only
Yes.
0.7. So
And I agree.
my click-through rate is only 0.4, but my conversion rate is 1.5%, right? So that's the main reason. That would mean that your sales would be not 50% down, but actually total you'd be the same if your click-through was down, right? So you can scroll down now. This is this is where you find out why. So now this
Yes.
gives you the
Yeah.
overall trend, but if you keep going down, you can now look at your individual items. So keep going.
Oh,
So now this is the key. As you look through here, let's look at some of these items on the right. You can see the click-through rate. This is the
which
prop,
oh, this one right here.
right? So
Okay.
when you see the
Okay.
click-through rate is 0, that means literally 0 people have clicked on it. So you have to go find out why that listing hasn't been clicked. Is it it's not your photos, because your photos are great, your titles are great. It's got to be something else. My guess is there's actually item specifics missing.
Okay.
I bet some of your listings are being suppressed because they're missing something. So let's look. Wait, go back. Is this one of those listings with 0
Yeah.
views?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm writing things down also while we do it. Let me make sure. I think this is one of the,
Okay.
your face is right over the
Oh,
screen
actually,
too. So
let me move it real quick.
that's
Okay.
okay. Oh yeah. So this would be one of the ones that is 0.
Okay. Let's click revise. Okay, let's scroll down and look at the item specifics. So that does look completely filled out. Keep going. So that is accurate. Let me see. You have best offer turned on, which does help. I think that's a little. Wait, actually, let's hold on a second. I'm actually gonna share my screen real quick.
Yeah.
This is
Let
go
me
ahead.
list this though, just so I don't forget. We
Yeah,
can go back
go.
to it, but I don't want to like
Yeah, no problem. Go for it.
leave it out there and not.
Okay, great. Awesome. Dear John jeans. Okay. Let me okay, let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Hopefully.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what were those? Dear John jeans?
Yes. They were like a trouser. Because I've sold some of the other Dear John jeans. It might just be that style, isn't it?
Okay, Dear John jeans, size 28, right?
Oh, I don't remember it to that extent.
I remember.
Okay.
Okay, so Dear John jeans 28. So looking through this, if I'm using a tool called Snap Seller Tools to give me an idea of the sell-through rate of the items. So this is actually, it's an okay item. So 35% sell-through rate over the last 90 days. So the way this automatically calculates it for me, but you can go into the sold and kind of get it, you kind of guess. Is this one yours? No, yours is more expensive. Let me see. Okay, so let's look at sold. So you can kind of get an idea of what people are listing it at. So right off the bat, your photos way better.
Yeah.
Title as good or higher. It's just from looking at it from this point of view, looks like yours is just priced too high. From looking at these solds, it's saying here 2966. Is yours new?
They're new with tags. Yeah.
Okay, so let me narrow it down to just new. Let me see. So let's go with new with tags. Okay, this is great. So this is an example because my computer has never looked at your store before. So let's look at the rank, right? Let's see. Is this yours? Let's see. Where
No,
is
no.
yours?
It's a great question.
Right here.
There's one of mine.
Okay.
That's not the ones we were looking at, but that is one of mine. Yeah.
Okay, that's one. And the other one's not even pulling.
Oh, I mean, I probably have like 50 pairs of Dear John jeans in
Okay.
my
But I'm
thing
saying
right
the
now.
one that
Yeah.
we were looking at earlier for some reason is not even listed. I only see this one pair, right?
But the suggested price was that $39, which I think mine were like $39.99. So
Right. But my point is, if you look at the ranking, right? Before I got the year listing, right, which is down here, I'm looking at one that's 23 free shipping, free returns, right? So this person has is ranked higher. So the way to make your sales go up is one, you need to have a higher conversion rate on click through. But if I was a customer looking through here, I wouldn't click on yours. The reason why it has 0% click through is because it looks let's see. I guess as a
So I don't
shopper,
do free shipping. Should I
right?
do?
That's fine. But I'm just trying to think
uh,
of we're trying to think of what would convince people to click for one.
No, and I was looking at this week at my conversion rate and it was low, but I was like, I don't I don't know why. I couldn't figure out.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
that's
you
interesting.
have stock photos that I'm comparing against, which, I mean, I can't compete with that, but
But those are double the price,
yes, right.
right? So that's these are this must be a store. Yeah, this is a larger store. Let me see. Let me look. And their sell-through rate is horrible. So, which makes sense to me. They probably have a lot of items. Let me see.
Does I mean, I know like length that you've been on eBay and like feedback and stuff goes into it. That's the only thing I can come up with because I have like 41 feedback.
That does matter. I would like your feedback to be
I would
100.
would love that too. I
So
mean,
let
I
me
don't
see.
know. Without making sales, I can't get.
So here's something that I'm gonna do. I'll share this design with you. I just
Yeah.
made a thank you card, right? So in this thank you card, I put everything is satisfactory. Please take a moment to leave a feedback. I don't need feedback, but I think this would have helped in the beginning.
I have one of those in my every package I send.
Awesome.
So,
So
well, so eBay has the standard eBay postcards. I have that. And then I write, enjoy your pair of jeans. I would appreciate your feedback, blah, 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 whatever.
do you leave feedback if they pay?
Yes.
Okay, so 42 out of 110 feedback is decent. That's like the same ratio that I get. Maybe actually yours is higher. Mine's a little bit lower than that.
Yeah. So I just need to make more sales. But
Yeah.
if I don't have
Okay.
enough feedback to make sale, like,
Yeah. I would say right now, this is a very interesting puzzle because,
well,
we
I'm
want to
glad I
get
stumped you because I can't figure it out either.
no,
I've
no,
done
I because there's a lot of things that I would do. One, I would price really aggressively. I
so
would
price
probably
them
price
lower.
I would probably price these at 30, free shipping, free returns. Because I would want to rank I would want to rank in the top 5 and I would want to get my store going. Like your store, if 10% is slow for you, then I would make some changes and just at least temporarily get that boost
To
to
get.
get the momentum going. Because right now, that conversion rate that you were looking at is the reason. That's the reason why they're not. Maybe they're suppressing your listings because you shouldn't have that many that are at 0. That means that eBay is not giving you any traffic.
Yeah, right. Agree. And I
So
agree.
so I think on the
So
I
it
have
would
been
it
good.
count to do, I mean, to lower my listings, just go through and like if I do a big sale on it to lower all of them, would that be a sufficient way to get them all lower? Or do I have to go into all of the items and
Do you have any items that you have like more than 10?
no?
Because I'm thinking maybe one of the reasons why my store is ranking really high is I have some items that have a ton of quantity and I'm using them to rank. So all of these rank. Like if I type in, let's see, let's go with. I hope this is an example that works. Okay, so here we have. This is me searching for this style of shoe, and for me, I'm the second ranking,
Yeah.
and I'm the most expensive.
Right. And I want to get
Right.
to that
Right.
place.
Right. So that I'm trying to think of. I think it really is because
And you're
I
not
d-
even free shipping.
I
Oh no,
am
you
now.
are.
I
You
am
are.
now. No, the
Okay.
thing is, I just changed that recently because I'm charging more. I used to think that that wouldn't work, but it's working. I'm the most expensive with free shipping and free returns, and it's working. So, um,
So in the beginning I had free shipping and it didn't do a damn thing. And so I took it off, but I
gotcha.
can try it again. I mean, and I'm also to the point, I mean, if you're shopping on my eBay store, don't take advantage of me, but I'm to the point where if someone makes an offer that I wouldn't take on Poshmark, I take it on eBay to get a sale, right? Like I'm just trying to get things going. But I've also been doing this for 6 months. And I know people say eBay takes longer, but I've been like this consistent doing this for 6 months. I feel like things should be.
Also, this store is only 6 months old,
Right.
so I'm trying to think
So
of
I mean,
well,
I don't list as much and I don't have as much inventory. And I think that definitely helps with eBay, right? Like they want you listing all the time, which I do, but I mean, it's like 5 items a day, not like 30.
I'm trying to think here of I'm running out of ideas other than just don't worry because I feel
Spend
like
more money, sell less, and don't worry. All right, Chris.
I the I think the way the eBay algorithm looks at it, it kind of gives a an average of the conversion. That's the problem right now. Your click through
Mhm.
rate is almost the same as mine, and and I can tell why, because the reason why your click through rate is as high as it is because you do a good job. You have a good
Yeah,
titles and good description. Now we just need people to convert
pictures. Yeah,
when they go to your listing, they're not buying.
right.
That's we need
And
to
if I get a
adjust that.
watch, yeah, if I get a watcher, I send out an offer, like a very aggressive offer. And I'm not.
Yeah, I'm
I
trying
mean,
to think.
I can do like a big sale and lower prices to encourage. Like if it shows up the lowest, then maybe people would be more, at least in the beginning, to get.
Yeah, I think
I
what
mean,
we
I
need
don't
to
want to sell items less, but
I think what we need to do right now is I have been okay. I mean, one thing that I do to cheat is this is an example on this pair. When I first started selling this pair, I couldn't sell any. I got these like a few months ago and I wasn't selling any. So I relisted it at a low price, I think $40. And I think I paid $30 for these. So I didn't really make any money on these. But
mhm.
now I'm starting to slowly increase the price now that I have the rank. So I think it depends on your on each individual item. It does matter. It kind of sucks when you don't have a lot of them to kind of play with. But I think I have been starting to pump in. Okay, I know what it is actually. I know why my store is doing well because I'm pumping in lower priced items. I never do that
Yeah, yeah.
ever. But now that I have somebody else helping me, I'm getting lucky and people are buying a cheap item and a more expensive item. It's also
Well,
working on Poshmark.
and that's my strategy this last month, why I bought this newest tag lot that she offered it to me 6 months ago. And I was like, no, that stuff is lower than I want to sell. I won't take it. And then all this happened. I was like, I need inventory. And it is lower average sale price than I normally would have, but I bought it to pump into my Poshmark, to pump into my eBay because people are spending lower sales. But I mean, maybe I need to go, under what the comp is
Hmm.
to kind of pump it.
I'm just trying to think here. Also, the free shipping, free returns, top rated, promoted listings, those are all the basics. But I think that inventory mix, I think if you have some cheap, high converting items, that's going to help eBay boost your traffic. Because I think the difference between point 0.3 and point 0.4 is a lot of clicks. When we saw that little slight trend in the last couple of weeks, that's disappointing. I don't know. One thing that
You're telling me.
one thing that I do want you to try is
Yeah.
I don't fully understand when people say resetting an eBay store. Okay, so the way I look at that is right now we have a 50,000 free listings thing or whatever. I might, if I were you, every single item on your store and sell similar on the entire thing. Do you know how to do that? Bulk listing?
Yes, I know how to do that. How long? I mean, yeah,
Because that
okay.
might take only 10 minutes to end all and sell similar. And then it would reset all of those metrics to zero.
Oh, you can do it like a bulk edit. You can do all of them.
You can do 500 at a time.
Oh, okay. Then I can do that. I thought you meant like each individual one. And I was
No,
like, Chris, like you're adding. Oh,
no.
yeah. So I could do, well, so I was doing sell similar for a lot. And probably half of those are new within the last month,
Hmm.
because I was cross posting from Poshmark, right? So half of those, I think I was at 350 on eBay at like end of March. And when I'm at like almost 600 now. So almost half of those are new.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think here. Somebody says try 2% promoted listings on your whole store
I
for five.
do.
You do trending.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would scare me. I'm doing that actually would scare me. A few things would scare me, but I'm scared to go above
But it's the
1%.
only, I mean, I looked at my stats and I think it was like 85% of my sales right now are coming from trending. So if I don't do that, then I'm really not ranking and getting anything.
Hmm.
And I reset the promoted listings to refresh the trending every week because, it's trending. So it changes so that trending promoted listing changes every week too.
Here's a good question.
And I do a sale.
Duncan is asking, do you edit any of your listings daily?
No. I, in theory, I do. In practice, no.
Because I do recommend what Duncan in the chat is saying, which is revise 5% a day. So the way that you could do that quickly is, I guess you could just go to your active. And I use the out of stock option. Do you use that?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so in the out of stock option means that the quantity will go to 0, and then you can restock it if you find another of the same item. But as an example, so these are some of the items that sold today that are 0 quantity. If I go through and actually end these, so let's see, because these items are all used, so I can't actually replenish them, right?
Yeah.
So let me see. I'm going to end these real quick. And it'll count as revising. So Duncan had mentioned revising 5% of your store a day. So that's 22 items right
so
now.
So not actually doing it, just
Right.
making
So
it look.
I am actually revising them because I'm ending them, right? So 22 listings I'm ending. So these ones, because I don't have any replenishable. But using that same tool, you can go through and make a few adjustments in your store so that you're doing, let me see real quick. Now that these end, let me go back to it. Okay. So what is 5% of that for me? 4,500. Oh, it's 90. So I would need to adjust 90 listings a day ish to do that. But this number, usually when you're at like 50K, your sales start to become more stable listed wise. But I guess,
which I'm trying to crank out. I mean, I'm trusting you and trying to pay someone else to crank these items out.
I guess I would ask people in the chat what they think. How much does my like connection, because I have other eBay stores too. Is it because they're connected to my other eBay stores that my traffic is different? Maybe people in the chat can look, because this is what bothers me when I look at my traffic. This is what bothers me because of my YouTube channel, right? I have let's see, 172 people, 264 people who went to my eBay store from YouTube and didn't buy anything.
Just to look at you.
So I'm like, that hurts me. So why my conversion rate should be lower than everybody else's? Because people are here, you know.
Right. Yours is actually probably higher, but it's being suppressed because people are just trying to see what you're doing and copy what you do.
Exactly.
Not actually trying to shop.
Yeah. So I'm wondering,
because I've done it. I've looked at your store.
Yeah. So what are people like? So that's what I mean. There's all these looky-loos not buying anything. Shouldn't I have a worse rate than everybody else? But
that means that you're even better. So you're doing something right.
I think right now I'm literally doing all the stuff that people don't want to do. Free shipping, free returns. I'm starting to raise my price. I have some low like this. Okay, on this item, I lose 10 cents.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to build, I just bought these because I'm trying to get the velocity to go up so the whole store will go up. But again, I don't know. It's kind of an interesting puzzle. Maybe people, let me see what people in the chat are saying.
Yeah, so I have, because I did this with Poshmark, having like I have scarves and jewelry that like I'm not expecting to make money off of. It's just to get like people to bundle and encourage. And so I have those on eBay for like really low offers or really low prices, or like I send them to auction. You know, I send a couple things to auction a couple times a week because I've heard that helps.
It does help because you have new listings ending all the time. I'm going to ask the chat. Thank you guys for joining. Everyone go to Sarah Stiles' channel, subscribe and like and follow her as she builds her channel publicly. So I'm asking people in the chat, they think that I have favoritism because my stores are connected to my other ones. I don't know. Let's see. Zach is saying you need to get a template that's UX friendly. I think her listings are mobile friendly. Like they're not, there's no HTML or anything that's odd. Let's see. Ariel's saying you need more variety. I don't think you need more variety necessarily, unless it's all, what is it? Is it all jeans?
No, it's like 95% women's, but it's shoes, jeans, dresses, purses. Recently it's jeans. Like I just listed 100 jeans and now I'm on skirts and dresses, but
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I'm. I would say
Well,
right
I'm glad
now.
that I stumped you because I've been trying to figure it out too. So,
I
I mean,
would
I'm not
say.
glad. I want to make more money,
I
but
would say that free shipping, free returns
okay.
is more important
I do returns.
than 7% promoted scares me. So I don't know. Maybe you can do. Is your eBay store name Sarah Styles LLC?
Mhm.
Okay, it's I'll put it in the chat. It's the same name as her YouTube channel, which you guys should check
Everywhere.
it out.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for the plug, Chris.
Okay, so let me see. Let me look it up again. I don't styles. Let me see if I can give any more thoughts. Your pictures are great. I would just say overall your items look a little bit expensive, but I mean, I don't
But they
see
were the
any.
comps. I mean, I can tell her to list them less, but they like the one you looked up is right at the comp that
Yeah, I would say if right now the economy is rough,
was
um,
lower.
maybe be a little bit cheaper until the velocity is high, then raise your prices. Because I do that sometimes.
But I have best offer on. Does that matter? Because I accept offers, like, or does that not matter?
I turn it off for most items because
But
I
I'm just
don't
saying
like.
if I price like at
No, no,
what the
but
comp is and then I accept a lower offer, or is it
if
better
you
to
have if you
be
have
lower?
best offer, you should have more traction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should help. Well, guys, definitely reach out to Sarah, follow her on Instagram, ask her, let her know what you guys think. I would say for me, I would add free shipping, free returns. I would maybe do, what is the current sale you have right now? It's
I don't know.
so you don't have one. So
Oh, really?
I would run a sale in your store. Yeah.
Okay. It must have just ended. I'm still learning eBay. I thought that I ran one this weekend and apparently I didn't.
Actually, some of your items have 15% off.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay.
So I don't do the whole store. Should I do the whole store or I do like 1 week of shoes and one so like one is ending and another is starting?
Let's try something to get the let's try something to get your sell-through rate back up to well, what is it on Poshmark right now? How are Poshmark sales?
They're down, but they're down too,
They're down too. Do
about
you
the
have
same
it?
amount.
Do you have any thoughts on your Poshmark closet as far as
Um,
sales?
it's because I'm not spending time on there. We just made like
Oh,
Poshmark.
I see. Okay, you're
I
not
mean,
as
I'm still
active.
list. Yes. I mean, Poshmark, you have to like go in and do followers and shows people's closets. And I
Uh,
haven't been doing that. But the
I
second,
got you.
like the days that I go in there and do it, I get
It's
sales.
okay. It's back to normal.
Mhm. It's just lower in the month because we moved. So
What is
like,
your in a perfect world? How would you handle your Poshmark? Because like I would say my Poshmark sales. I just had see. I just got this bundle sale of 4 shoes, which is nice
yeah, for sure.
on Poshmark. But like I would say my sales are. Let's see. Let me think here. It's probably around let's see, 3,000, maybe 8,000 this month on Poshmark. But like I'm not. I I rarely share my closet. It's embarrassing. So I
You
feel
get
like
the
if
sales without sharing your closet, Chris.
I don't, I mean, I share maybe once a day at the most, usually twice a week. I don't
Oh,
get how people
geez.
do I don't have time to do that.
What you pay
But
someone? You're like the king of telling people to pay to do it.
but like so okay, I had really great success with like actually using a bot, but I've never had any success. I have never spent the time to learn how to get a VA to share your closet.
Yeah, you can pay people. I mean, I pay like a person to do it because they're not fans of bots on Poshmark.
Yeah, I think if you
But I
hmm,
also go in every day on Poshmark. When I go in and like share other people's closets and do things in Poshmark, my sales are fine for the day.
yeah,
My ASP
okay.
is going down, but I think that's the economy.
Okay. So if that's true, then I would say you definitely need to lower your prices aggressively on both platforms to get
Mhm.
the momentum going. Let's definitely before next week, let's have somebody there. Do you have time this week to be active in your Poshmark closet?
Yeah, I'm starting to pick up. Like I had a normal
Okay.
day today and yesterday. Now that I'm like we're done moving.
Let's see. Okay. teach me, show me what I'm supposed to do on Poshmark this week, because I feel like I feel like it's a gift from God, because I don't do anything on Poshmark. I still get
Yeah,
sales,
so
and I don't do anything. And
I'll
I'm
send
not popular. People do not like me on Poshmark. I still get sales. I'm not social.
well, right. So
So
you should be teaching me what to do because you're not doing anything and you're still getting sales.
I just think it's because my store is huge.
Yes, yeah.
So I don't think,
Which it's a numbers game. Yeah.
yeah. So, that's, I have 2,600 active in Poshmark. I should do 200 sales this month, which is really low. That's like 8% sell through rate, right?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's not that low.
Where my Poshmark, I think, is like a 20% sell through rate, and eBay's like awful.
Yeah, Gabe is saying your prices may be slightly high, but I would say like maybe, hmm, um, I would aim for, okay, let's be active in Poshmark this week, and maybe I'll try to be active in Poshmark this week. Maybe my sales will go up if I
I'll
actually
send
do what you're
you,
supposed to do.
yeah, I'll send you a video that I did. So I did a sample data and figure out what successful postures are doing, what kind of activities they do to make money. On my YouTube channel, there's a video, but I'll send it to you. And
Okay.
I stick to doing those activities every day. And when I do them, I get
Okay.
big
So
sales.
I will try that for a week. I mean, I'll do it for longer than a week, but this week I will add whatever it is you're doing in your closet and see if I can get up to 10%, or what is that? That's like, I would be happy with 10% sell through. Actually, to be 100% honest with you, I would be happy with 5% sell through on Poshmark.
Nice.
And I'm already above that
Yes, right.
with
So you
doing
don't have to
nothing.
do anything. I
So, but
want
I'm
to be at
saying
20% everywhere.
but what about the breakdown between Poshmark and eBay? How do
Yes.
you want to?
So I mean, I would like it to be an equal split. I feel like that's a fair assumption.
Okay. I mean,
Is that not?
no, I don't know. I don't, because I don't understand. I consider myself actually decent at Poshmark, but like, I I just don't meet that many Poshmark sellers that actually have over 10% sell through. They
Oh,
say
yeah.
they do, but then when I look at their closet and it doesn't seem like they actually have that.
Well, I can show you my
No,
stats.
I believe you. I'm just saying that.
Yeah,
Um,
no, yeah. I don't
uh,
know that all postures, I don't know that everybody knows how to calculate all the numbers that people talk about. So this week in my eBay store, I will add free shipping to everything. And then can I run a sale to lower all my prices, or I should go in and lower all of them in the listing? Or can I just do a sale to
no,
make them?
I would do a sale.
Okay.
I would do like a 15% sale store wide. Just
Well, and
for,
so I used to have a store-wide sale and my sales were still, I'll try it
it's
though.
okay. Try 15% store wide. Try
Store-wide.
free
Okay.
shipping and free returns for a week. You can always turn it off.
Yeah,
Free shipping, free returns, add 15% store wide, add a buy two, get 10% off.
I have that.
Okay, volume discount.
Mhm.
Show me what you do, the video on Poshmark, and I'll do that with you.
Okay.
I don't see oh, actually I do. I see, no, I don't, or actually do. Let me see if there's a double promotional offer. So you have a volume discount. So extra 20% off $100.
Yes.
Maybe I would add a buy two, get something. That might convert a little bit.
What listing are you looking at?
I'm looking at,
Because in theory, I have them on all of them, but the VA can't do it because of her settings. And so I have to go back in and do it. So if it's a new one that I launched, I may not have gone back and did it.
I'm looking at a Coach crossbody.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that one.
I don't know, but I'm saying definitely make sure those are all legit, and let's add in 5% adjustments a day, and that don't spend more than, write down, don't spend over 10 minutes doing that, because I don't
Okay,
want you to
well,
waste too much time.
I'm gonna have to watch this video again and see how you did it. Because I was going into each one doing it, and that takes forever.
So real quick, because hopefully this is useful to people in the chat.
Yeah.
When you go through, let's see, I all the things I use in eBay are in one folder to try to make it easier, because eBay is a nightmare to try to use, right? So
Yes, that's
once you
smart.
go through here, so I know I need to adjust 90 a day according to Duncan in the chat, and I believe him. So I need to adjust 90 a day to make sure eBay knows I care. So once you can, I would sort by, let's say 100 per page. For you, 500 listings is 25 a day. Actually, so that would be better because that won't take
It's
as
like,
long to load.
yeah.
Let's go to 25. I would sort by high to low. So get your most expensive items first, and then you click this button right here, select
Mm-hmm.
all, then edit selected,
Mm-hmm.
or you can select one of these and do one a day.
Yeah.
Edit select is going to pull up this bulk editor.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I would do is go through and adjust the pricing a little bit. So let me do this right now. I'll do it as well. I'm going to lower this to 75 bucks because I'm kind of like, this I got for 50 cents and I was asking for like 150. I think that's kind of ridiculous. So I'll go lower. Also, this fits in, anyway, I'll go over that in a different video. But these,
Okay.
I think that I am, right now, I think people probably are a little poor. So maybe
Going down.
I'll go to 100 on
Well,
these.
so I go through and edit my promoted listing. So that counts as editing, right?
How do you mean?
Like I go through and edit my trending. Like I go into the bulk edit for the items and then I redo the promoted listings to reset the trending. So that counts. Like you just have to do something, right?
I think you need to manually adjust it like this,
Oh, okay. Okay.
like literally change something in the,
Okay.
so this one is a good piece. So I only lowered it $5. But I think I'll
They
go,
just want to know that you're paying attention to your listings and not letting them sit out there.
yeah, I think
Okay.
I might lower this one to 350. Let's see. But I'm going to be aggressive right now because I think people are broke. So maybe I'm asking way too much money for this stuff.
Yeah. Well, and maybe
Um,
that's the only thing I can think is mine are priced for the economy right now.
let's see. Vintage. These alarm clocks are so cool. So I'm only going to lower them to 110, even though I paid nothing for them. Let's see. This is, what is this thing? This is, these are these CB radios I bought. So I'm just gonna lower them by 50% just to get them out of here. I think
Yeah.
I paid $5 for them, and they do sell for 150 when the economy's not broken. So let's see if
Going for the lower.
it'll let me change these. It probably there's some that have an offer already. But this is how you would adjust
Yeah.
that many
Okay. I
listings in
can do
what?
that. I was going in and doing them each individually, and that takes forever. Which is why I don't do it every day, but I can add that to my like daily.
So Duncan is saying up, lower your prices $1, the next day raise them $1.
I'm not, I mean, it's $1. I'm not going to remember to do that.
Yeah, you could keep lowering it, but let's see. Changing the price, the watchers get a notification that you changed the price. Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah. Was going to ask that. Okay. So if you have a watcher and you lower it, they get an email. Does it
You
have
know,
to be a certain percent
what's weird is that you don't even have to be watching it.
to get an email?
That's really, I'm annoyed as a customer because
Oh yes. If you click on something or you look at it, then
yeah,
you get an email when they do.
yeah, because I'm stalking all these stores that I'm copying, and they send me emails all the time. Hey, look at this tractor that you looked at. I'm like, I looked at it, I didn't watch it.
Yeah. No, but
Um,
that's a good point because then it would be sending emails to all the people that have looked at it. Maybe that can help get sales too.
yeah.
Okay. I'll go through and edit the prices of 5%, do a sale, and free shipping, free returns.
Okay, and now you have my phone number, so text me if it's failing, and then I'll look at it because I want next week's call for it to be
For
very
me to be
different.
big successful.
Yeah, I want
Okay.
you to be very successful next week.
Okay. Me too.
All right,
Me too. All
all
right.
right,
Thank you.
everybody in the chat, like the video, then go to Sarah Styles LLC, find her YouTube channel. Um, I'll put it in the chat again so you guys can find her, and then that's it. Sarah Styles LLC. Whoops.
Yep. That's me.
Sarah Styles. Wow, I can't type. Sarah Styles LLC. All right, guys. Everyone have a great one. Until next time, make progress daily, everybody.
Thank you, Chris.